This is the ButtonWorx button repair kit for the popular remote control. This is made for Dish Network. It's made for Bell and TELUS. It's called the UHF PRO. There's a lot of them out there. And this is a ButtonWorx button repair kit that installs between the rubber keypad and the circuit board and replaces the conductive contacts, fixes all your buttons, and seals out dirt and oil from gumming up your buttons again. Now, this kit will fit in any remote that looks like this. They come in black and silver, and you might want to just pay attention. There's sort of a raised dish and a raised, I think it's a record button, or it says R, you can just copy the button pattern. You know, you got the digits down here. You've got this. This says DVR in some and PVR. It might say the words might be different in different countries. And but if it looks like that, it should work. You can find the model number back here. It's a 6-digit number, and I've got a list on the website of known model numbers. But there's so many, I think there's going to be a lot of them. So anyway, this kit will work in any remote that looks like this, and all you need to do to install the keypad, you need a small flat screwdriver and a small Phillips screwdriver, and Q-tips or maybe a rag or an old toothbrush. And rubbing alcohol, I like isopropyl 90%. You can get away with 70%, it just has a little more water in it. But let's get right to it. So the first thing we got to do is open up the back, take out the batteries. And there's one Phillips head screw right here that comes out. And this one's pretty easy to open compared to a lot of other remotes I deal with. We need the little flat screwdriver, and you'll see in the bottom edge there's a couple slots. Now some of these have like a 1 or 2, I think it was for 2 different dish receivers. So I'm not sure if that'll complicate things. I think there's a switch here, so just pay attention to that if you have one of those. But there should be 2 slots back here, and you just push the screwdriver in, and you really can't push it in too far, but you don't need to push it too very far. Just there is a block there to prevent you from damaging anything. So you just put it in there and kind of click it up like that. You might do both sides or just one, but what we're looking for is the little gap here. And then the screwdriver is just the flat screwdriver is just going to go in. You could also use a plastic card for this, but I'll just put it in, and I'm going to tilt the screwdriver towards the front of the remote a little bit, not much, just a let's see if I can I'm just tilting it a little bit, not super critical, but the snaps go that way. And then I just slide this up. I'm not prying, I'm not doing anything, I'm just sliding it up like that, and the snaps will just come right off. And then you go to the other side, do the same thing, just slide. It's very easy. Okay, and then there's a couple snaps up here, but you don't need to do anything for that. We're just going to loosen it up. Right, do a little bit more up here, I think. And then you can just sort of wiggle it. Yeah, and the top comes off. Now, the circuit board likes to stay in there. There's some springs that go into slots. I'm not going to take it out because it's a little hard. If you do need to take this out for any reason, maybe clean battery corrosion, you're just going to make sure there's 2 springs way in there that go in plastic slots. So when you're putting it back together, get the springs back in, and there's 2 springs here that go in slots. That's the only deal with that. If your rubber keypad is really gross, you're probably going to want to take this out and just wash it off in a sink with some warm soapy water, maybe an old toothbrush. Make sure it's dry and put it back in. If it's not too bad, you can just go over it lightly with isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip or a rag. Now you definitely want to clean the circuit board. Even if it doesn't look dirty, you want to clean the circuit board, because we don't want any dirt in there or buildup of any kind, because we're going to be sealing it in there. So just go over each of these little black forked contacts, or other models might have gold color contacts for the fork. You don't want to rub too hard. You don't want to use any abrasive cleaners, and you don't want to rub too hard. There's a little bit of dirt coming off of this, a little black. If you sat there and rubbed and rubbed and rubbed and rubbed and rubbed these, you could rub the black off and expose the metal, and then the switch doesn't tend to work as good anymore. If you are having trouble intermittently with all buttons, or sometimes all buttons work and sometimes they don't, these LEDs, these solder can crack on there, and which would require you to take off the circuit board and re-solder with a soldering iron the metal. And sometimes you can see a nice ring where the solder is cracked. And but I'm not getting into that in this video. So we got the ButtonWorx membrane keypad, and there's a little slot right here on this model, and you can easily pick at that with your fingernail. Now this is made with several layers of clear plastic, so you don't want to split the plastic part. We just want to take the brown paper off, and that should be pretty easy. If the plastic splits, it's rare, but if you're digging at it the wrong way and you start to split the plastic, it does not come apart easily. People will be tearing at it, and then it also curls up. Now the paper will curl up, right? But the plastic will not. It'll stay flat. If you had trouble getting this off and the plastic's curling, that means you split it in half and it won't work. There's a spacer here that keeps the black away from the circuit board when you're not pushing a button. So to install this, we've got the circuit board all cleaned. There are little H's cut that go over these LEDs, and there's slots cut for these pins coming up through the board, and some of these springs for the battery. And then there's two holes right there and there. The easiest thing to do is line up this side over here, just kind of pay attention to that hole, the LEDs, and this long strip here. Make sure everything's getting in there. And then before you really stick it down, you just kind of look and see those are lined up. And then I'm just going to let it go like that. I'm not pushing on it. I'm not trying to stick it down. That is all you need to do, is lay it down. You want it to be nice and flat. And that's all you need to do. So now that should work great, and all we have to do is put it back together. I got the rubber keypad still in the top. If any of the buttons come out, it kind of makes it difficult, so I want to make sure that's in there. Yeah. And then I'm just going to start like this so the rubber keypad doesn't fall out. I'm going to put that board, keeping the keypad upside down. And we want to do the top snaps first, like that. And then this is really easy. When I'm pushing these back in, I'm going to push down on the back housing a little bit, and that helps prevent wearing or breaking the snaps. So I'm pushing it together. I'm just sort of putting a little pressure down on the back housing when I do that. There we go. And then you can put the screw back in, or you can wait till after testing, but it's not a big deal. It's only one screw. Yeah, so now the new keypad blocks oil and dirt from building up. The contacts do not wear out, so you won't have any buttons fail in the future. Okay, so I'm putting on satellite, and you can just push the buttons and see the light blink, and test most of the buttons. Just make sure everything is working good. And if a button is stuck down, the light stays on, so that would be an indicator that something's wrong. Maybe a button's caved in or something, or there might be a piece of plastic in there in the wrong place that broke off and got stuck in there, and it's holding one of those buttons down. So if it is stuck on solid, you might have to take it apart and just check that out again. But there we go. All the buttons work great. They won't fail again. You can use this remote for years to come.